Hello everyone and welcome back to Gnomoria episode 48. We are back in the Grizzly Inkling and we're going to be doing some great stuff today. Now since the last episode there has been an update, 0.8.23. It's getting a little bit hard to sort of keep up with all the numbers and things like that. But I will have a link down below obviously to all of the patch notes, and there will always be a little thing that says this is the latest, this is the current patch notes. So you always just go to them if you want to see what's just happened. Otherwise you can scroll through all the previous ones. Now, this is what has happened. We've added a filter to the butcher shop list for specific pastures. So I've come to the butcher shop. We can see there is actually, we can take corpses, or we can take from Yakiton, Emuville, or Alpacatron. So corpses would obviously take it from anywhere around the map. Just anything that's dead, and obviously the other ones would filter between all the pastures that we have here. I really want to extend this very soon just so I can have more things, because there was an emu, here we go, there is an emu running out in the wheat fields, a little bit crazy, and I also have to quickly just get rid of these stairs. Oh, that is on, oh god, that's on the wrong level. Let's just go down, and that is still on the wrong level, but we will be able to get rid of those and maybe extend the wheat farm, maybe shortly. I don't know if I need to do it now because I do have a lot of wheat, but we'll get to that just after I explain the update. So the butcher shop has also a new feature here. It's actually got two new features, I think. There is an option obviously to automatically butcher the excess livestock. So the overflowing animals that are coming out of obviously your pastures and that are running around and really not doing a whole lot, except for leaving milk everywhere and pooing everywhere and stinking up the place, you can just get those automatically butchered and turned into the materials that you get out of them. So that's going to be helpful in terms of just being able to have like a sort of a well-oiled machine. You know, the butchers know that if they see an animal running around, they're going to have to go and, you know, butcher him because there's too many of them, so they need to get rid of them. It just makes sense culling down the numbers. And there's also automatically butcher corpses. So as soon as a corpse falls on the ground, it is automatically going to be lit up to get butchered, so you don't have to worry about keeping and just keeping coming back in here and basically clicking on all these goblin corpses and things like that. I'll actually just automatically butcher excess livestock, but I won't check this second option here because of the corpses that are outside. I don't want, when I do open the walls up, people to run out there, workers and things, to basically just get into trouble. I know that it's definitely going to happen once I do open up to, I don't know, defeat some goblins that are sitting outside our doors, and maybe mants come at the same time, and then we've got workers sitting out there, and it's just going to be a really a tough situation. So we're going to leave that the corpses not to automatically be butchered. We do have some corpses in here, but it's not too much of a worry because we do again have quite a lot of food, and a lot of that is meat and sandwiches. Now if we go to the options menu, we can see in the gameplay there is a autosave option, so you can choose how many days in between each save. It starts automatically at I think 3 days. That's a pretty good medium, but I'm going to go with 2. I guess doing it every night would be the safest option, but again it is going to pause your game when it does autosave, so you have to keep that in mind a little bit. Just for the sake of this, I'm going to keep it at 2 days. And we can also see there is a depth distance scale. Now this is the amount that depth increases distance more than width or length. In simple terms, if you set this down to 1, the pathfinding of the gnomes is going to be exactly the same as it was before this update. Setting it higher than this is going to make the gnomes want to get things on the same level of them instead of going down in levels. So if there is, let's say there's like a piece of cotton 2 blocks away from the gnome, but if he went straight down, there would be immediately a bolt of cotton down there as well. If you put this to scale, I don't know, 10, the scale is going to make the going down in levels a lot more less wanted. He's not going to want to go down levels as often as if you left it at 1. So basically you put it higher if you want people to stay on the same level, and just take from the same level, and instead of going down basically, I guess the easiest way would be to think, okay, so there's stone, and you've got some stone on your first level, and you've also got stone really deep down below in your mines. Setting this to a high number is going to make it pretty much guaranteed that they're going to stay on the higher levels instead of going all the way down to the bottom. Whichever one is closer compared to this scale and things like that. A little bit of a tricky thing to figure out, but if you have any questions, leave them down below. I think I explained that as best as I could. Another thing added is a UI for the Tinker Bench. We can see Raiden and Captain Jetbeard working very hard here. Now the Tinker Bench actually has its own window here, and we can assign different workers to the Tinker Benches, and they're just going to stay at that Tinker Bench, obviously, because they're assigned to it. You can also suspend, and it also shows you the invention progress. I would love a bit of a percent shown here, but there is a bar, so that is a lot more useful than what it used to be, which was absolutely nothing. So you do have a bit of feedback on in terms of what is happening with the progress of your invention. The last feature added was 2 new songs to the nighttime playlist. Apart from that, there has been a number of bug fixes in this as always, and it is great to see them again in every single update. It is really nice to see more bug fixes because bugs are a really nasty thing and they really hurt your enjoyment of the game. It's always nice to see them. Now we can go ahead and play the game, and let's see what a dirt golem has been spotted immediately, and I think is it that guy on the ground here, or is it someone else? That's the clay golem corpse, so it's definitely not the dirt golem. So let's wait until if he peeks his head out. This is actually on the 8th layer, -8. So you guys have to keep a note in your heads if you are mining deep down and you want to know where to light up. You have to light up at minimum -8. I've actually gone and oh, here we go. The dirt golem is actually up here being fought by some of these guys, and we'll go ahead and attack on that. We can actually see that there is a worker. If we click on him, King Gear, he's actually wearing leather, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. We can see some of these guys coming down here to do some extra mining. That is great, and we can see obviously the dirt golem is going to go down fairly quickly, and it's not going to be too much of a hassle, even with some workers fighting along the battles with that. So yeah, -5 is where I put the cutoff. Or well, actually it's -6. I have -6 lit up, but -5 isn't lit up. But definitely you want at least -6 lit up and below that, because there will be enemies spawning down there. Now -7 obviously is the layer that I am doing the most mining on at the moment, simply because it is probably safe. I can say that maybe I am 95% sure that this is going to be safe and no enemies are going to spawn down here. Again, I could be wrong and something could go wrong, but I'm just taking a guess. Like, I have to take a stand somewhere what layer I'm going to dig in, and -7 seems to be low enough that it's going to have some good stuff down there, and high enough so it's not going to be too dangerous. Now, with the leather armor worker that we saw just before, we see we still got 2. Actually, are those doors? Oh, the goblin has died? When was a goblin? Oh, that's right, okay. So the goblins actually don't pursue gnomes, or don't come towards your kingdom once you actually wall off. So we can see that at the entrance again, I have walled off. Now, I sort of expected the goblins to sort of just come up to the wall, but they're not that intelligent. They really just only smell out the gnomes, and if they are walled off, they can't smell the gnomes. So they're basically just going to mill around out here and die. So let's see if we actually get a mining order, if it's going to light up green within the next couple of seconds, because if it does, we'll be able to open up this and get to those goblins that are out there. It is the 8th day of summer, so I don't think... Oh, a bear has been spotted. Now, I have heard of people being absolutely torn apart by bears. Many a kingdom has gone down to bears, and I really... Whoa. The bear is bleeding already? What happened to the... Oh, the goblins must be fighting the bear or something like that. Let's see how damaged he is. Bleeding. Oh, the bear is bleeding from her, so it's a female. Right front paw and left arm. That makes me think that we should try and help, but we really can't. We can see that the range guys did a quick little attack there, and they're retreating back to try and get some better vantage points, but again, they cannot do that because the bear has completely run away. God, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and open this up for now. As soon as I see Mance though, oh, it's such a tricky thing because people have made this really clear in the comments. It is important to keep farming goblins for their resources, because you get armors, you get metal bars, you get weapons off of them. And you also get meats off of them as well. So if you're really sort of in dire straits with food, that is also a useful place to get it. But yeah, keeping that up and farming all of those things off of those enemies. The sun has risen, so I guess we can safely leave this job to actually open up this. Seeing that the sun has risen means obviously there's going to be no goblins. So if we just go ahead and cancel the job, the goblins are the only thing I want to face at the moment. Anything else will just be spawning, I guess, at night and during daytime, I think. Some of the random passive mobs can do that as well. So if you scroll down, I think once I get this mining done, you can see there's a lot of copper in here, which is great. We can turn that into bronze very shortly. Do a quick zoom out and see we haven't gotten too much out of this layer just yet, but we can go ahead and set a little bit more to be mined out. We'll leave a 10. Actually, I was thinking of doing a 10 long thing so I could light it up efficiently, but again, this is on a level where I don't have to light up. So we're just going to do out to 16 and extend this all the way along here. And hopefully this is going to link up properly. Yes, it does exactly. That is some pretty cool hand-eye coordination, if I do say so myself. And yes, back to the workers wearing this stuff. We can see those guys are bringing up the copper bars pretty much immediately from where they're being mined. And we can see this fellow miner is going to bed at the moment. So we scroll up and I'm going to tell you guys what I have done at request of the wonderful viewers. You guys, again, you watching this right now, if you've ever left a comment, thank you. I don't know why I sort of turned into like a, oh, what the good, you the goddamn military man, I'm gonna be a soldier. That's really not the way that I meant it. For some reason it just turned into that. What I basically did is went into the military and created 3 new squads. We can see Workers 1, Workers 2, and Workers 3. Now they are all full of, obviously, workers, and they've all got the formation Scout Worker Run Faster. Now, and they've also got the Scout Worker position. So if we check out the formation of the Scout Worker Run Faster, we can see he's going to avoid enemies, not perform attack orders, and not defend gnomes. So none of these guys are ever going to get into combat if they can help escaping. So we can see that we've got the perk Keep Your Eyes Open. That's going to be increased vision range for each active position. I would have put it to On the Move, but these 3 squads are actually all full. So On the Move obviously works and scales upon each vacant position. If you have no vacant positions, I assume that you get no bonus in movement speed. So Keep Your Eyes Open is going to be great to increase the vision range and basically the amount of space and time they have to avoid enemies. So workers are going to survive a lot longer now. And if we check up in the positions, I have this Scout Worker. The perk is Militia, so that's just going to mean that they can perform their normal jobs, and because they could stop to go on duty if I did set them to something, but I haven't got them set to any guard stations or any patrol routes. And we can see the uniform is a work. I'll show that in just a second. They will not pursue targets, they will maintain distance, and whoops, I accidentally clicked that. They will retreat if bleeding, if possible, because it does say they attempt. And then in the uniforms, we've got, oh god, this little pop-up thing here is just staying there. If we check out the worker leather, everything is leather, and he has a torch in one hand and nothing in his right hand, so he doesn't go ahead and pick up any of the weapons and take them away from the military. So yeah, they're going to be using leather and torches. So I want to obviously check up on, I think it was this machine, not this machine, this workshop right here, and make sure that I've got any hide. I'm just going to go ahead and make these out of, actually, any hide. It doesn't matter because the workers should be getting ogre and emu and yak as well. It really doesn't matter. We're going to make, I don't know, like 10 of these, and then 10 cuirasses, and we're also going to create 20 of each bracer, greave, and glove and boot, because those 4 things, you need 2 of them for each person. It clearly says bracer, not bracers, so you do have to double the amount to go on the same amount of gnomes. So here we can see that I've queued up a absolute crap ton of leather armor to be made for all of our workers. Some of them do already have some leather that was left over from these soldiers, But again, we are going to be getting increased population at the end of summer and the beginning of the next season, and also we just want these guys to have like an ample amount of leather armor, because that is obviously going to increase their chances of surviving if they do get caught out. Workers a really big thing for the Grizzly King. They have been dying kind of consistently ever since the enemies have started to come, because they've just been caught out by anything when I have jobs outside of the safety of the wall. So we can see that Raiden is working on his stuff there. Now we can see someone has said in the comments that there is a cave very close to the stairs, and I did see this as well, but I didn't think it was going to be a problem. However, I will what is that sitting there? Is that like copper, or is that a tool sitting on this staircase? You can see those little bits of copper. I don't know what that is. But we're going to scroll down and see. The goblin has bled to death. Okay, so there are... Oh, there's actually some copper armor out there. I'm not sure if I can use that too much anymore, but we can see that there are still some goblins, I guess, out here mulling around. And just, I guess, bleeding to death. I guess they're fighting things, like some of the animals out there. They must be fighting something to bleed to death. Otherwise, they would just probably just die of thirst or hunger. Can't see any more goblins out here, but again, that could be because I just haven't spotted them yet. So yeah, back in the lower layers, there is actually a cave down here. If we see, it is down on... Which level is it? Is it this one? This is -10, and this is a cave. However, if we scroll down, we can see that that is walls. There really isn't any ramps up from here. We can see this level is just below our mining layer here, and on this level there are absolutely no ramps, so there is no access to this to our mine from here. I don't think anything can climb up. I think it would be kind of cool if there were spiders that could, but as we can see, this there is a really big cave down here, a really large cave system with a lot of nice resources in there. I'm down to level 33 right now, and we can see it's still going, a lot of stuff in there, so we probably should, I don't know if we should avoid that. I guess I'm just going to wait until a ramp is there that allows access to my mining areas, and then I can worry about it. But for the moment, it is absolutely a non-issue. But thank you again for the people who are worrying about that. You guys are amazing. It's just really, really awesome to see that people care about these guys. They care about the gnomes just as much as I do, and it's really just amazing. We can see the torches are almost done. I think we did have pause for a little bit there. We're gonna have to place a torch in here as well. So let's go ahead into build, into the furniture, place the torch in there. Now the torches, I think I might have to up the craft 2 limits that I have at the moment, because workers are going to be using torches as weapons, and I also want lots of torches to be around. A skeleton has been spotted. Okay, big trouble. This is on level 7, but I can only assume he's right on the staircase and he came from down in level 8 down here, because if he spawned on level 7, it would have been in one of these red areas and it just wouldn't be here. He could have spawned here. I can be wrong. I could be wrong. I may well be wrong. Feel free to state that. I am always glad to admit when I am wrong. It is just something that I really have no problem with. But anyway, we can obviously see this skeleton here is going to have to be dealt with, because he does have pretty low skills, in fact, even with his weapons and fitness and things like that. But I guess he has his skeleton, he can't breathe, so he doesn't have a fitness level per se. And these guys down here, this is awesome, because these guys have escape routes, except for around here, but they can just keep on continually running until they get to about here, because it's not totally dug out. Oh god, I think that's what's going to end up happening. Oh god, he's gone into here. Please don't tell me that skeleton is coming after us. No, he is not. The skeleton, there we go. The skeleton is against the military. And of course, we can see one of the legs was sliced straight off the bone, because that is all he actually has. And that skeleton is just dead. I think eventually you will be able to actually harvest bones off of these guys and use bones for certain things. I think a really great thing for bones would be, just a personal thing, would be for spearheads, like a really sharp spearhead. Because if you've ever seen seen bones in real life when they like of an animal, like when you're eating a T-bone steak or something. If it is broken, they are super duper sharp, and they really like kind of crazy, so that would be awesome for a hunter to have a spear, and they could have like extra damage against weapons. But here we can see here there is another clay golem. There's quite a lot of attacks going on in this episode, and this worker feels up to it to actually come up to him with his leather outfit and actually do some battling before the military actually gets here. So let's see how this turns out. The clay golem is going to die, and someone has dropped a axe down here. It is actually a bronze hand axe, and along those lines we're going to go ahead and turn off the I've turned back on the interface and go to the stocks. I want to check up on how many metals and things like that I have. So we've got 80 ore, 24 bar, so we've got 22 copper bar, 2 bronze bar. So I guess we need more tin. No, we have enough tin ore to make more bronze. So let's make sure the forge has, it's got bronze bars repeating, and then it's got any kind of bar repeating after that. So that is fine. We'd probably just have someone sleeping that was actually working on that before. So as long as the production of the bars and the ores turning to bars are going to keep on going, I'm going to check up on the military. Okay, so most people don't have a bronze helmet. We can see most people have, there's like one person with an iron, and the rest of the people have copper. So, and we can actually see here that this guy is actually churning out that leather armor for us. We can see it's actually very, very fast for an experienced guy. We can see that, we'll check up on exactly who this is. And Genwangla the Rancher, we can see, I think she's a very experienced leatherworker at 29, not very experienced, but she is certainly not an amateur or a novice. She knows what she's doing, and she can pump those out quite quickly. So very soon we're going to have, the goblin has died again. I guess I shouldn't really worry about having to straight away get to these goblins that are out here. Oh my god, look at this bear. He has been going nuts on so many of these goblins. Oh, here we go. Here's a goblin running around. I hope that this bear just comes, absolutely mauls him, because he wishes to harm us, and the bear, unless provoked, would not want to harm us, so he is on our side at the moment. We don't, I guess bear hide probably would be a better a leather as opposed to yak. Cannot confirm that though, I'm not sure, I haven't read that anywhere. We can see that this patrol station up here is actually getting worked on as well. Now if we go to building a floor, make it out of bauxite and just put it here, make sure we're on the right level. We've got to always do that. Put it there, we'll be able to secure the ends here and make sure no one can fall off. So it'll go like this, and then there. Yeah, that's going to work fine, and I'll have more of an advantage over some of the things here. It is about 3 blocks down from here. We can see this goblin arm just sitting here. Goblin's right arm was ripped off, sliced off, chomped off, ripped off, cut off, something. I said ripped off a couple of times, but it was somehow taken off in battle. Look at all this armor on these workers. It looks like we have a great majority of our workers with that leather armor, and we can see this wonderful lady working here. Is she actually working? Oh, she's actually the gnome merchant. Oh, whoops. You know, you guys know what I've done? I've locked in the gnome merchant. So I guess I better get this door open and let her leave, because she is technically a prisoner. I'm keeping her against her will. She hasn't complained about it, but I assume she doesn't want to stay here forever. She wants to carry back all the crap that I sold her. Those, I mean, hundreds of bags, huge, gigantic bags of bones and dirt and stone that she just wants to take back to her little area and get sorted out. And we can see the distillery is working really nicely. I've been told by some viewers in the comments that milk is obviously going to be the worst drink as opposed to pretty much everything else. Obviously because milk, it just comes out of yaks. It's instantly ready to drink. It's only one actual ingredient. I just want to check up. Yep, this job is actually being done. The sun is setting, so we probably should get some goblins very soon. Oh my god. I was going to say shortly and soon, so I said soon. Could be a new word. Don't think it's going to hit off very well. But either way, actually I also want to do a checkered thing in the Great Hall down here. I want to do a checkered floor or something like that. We can see someone's left some copper armor, I assume, because they've gone and gotten some bronze. There is a bronze hammer sitting right here as well. A goblin's been spotted, and why is this guy all the way out here? Oddlimo, what? That's very odd. Everyone, literally everyone else is just sitting in their regular positions, and Oddlimo is out here just being a little bit odd and sort of by himself. He should be able to take on that goblin, no problems, by himself, but if there were more goblins, I'd definitely be a lot more worried. I can only assume that there is more goblins somewhere. I guess, oh, you know what Oddlimo was doing? That's what he was doing. He was, oh, a goblin has been spotted. There we go. He's got some armor. Oddlimo was actually, I can only guess, he was actually coming and picking up some of the gear that those guys dropped, whether it be a weapon or some armor. Now we can see this goblin up here. We're going to go ahead and get the attack order on him because he's being very nasty. We can see, oh, where did this worker actually come from? He is a woodcutter. He may have been collecting some wood and some saplings, but he is in really bad position. We can see this bear has been spotted. This is actually the same bear that has killed 2 goblins and is sort of a little bit injured. And we can see, oh my god, the bear is actually, well, okay, we can actually see that this guy is running away from the bear because I haven't put an attack order on the bear just yet. And uh-oh, we can see this girl coming out here. I hope she doesn't... Okay, she's gone and picked up one of those axes, and she's just going to use that, obviously, for cutting down wood and just being a better soldier. We can see that that worker that was here, I don't know if he was bleeding. We can only see there's goblin blood. Defiler 86's blood. That's Jungle Toe right there. So Defiler 86 must have been that worker, or he could be one of the military guys. If we just check up Defiler, no, he's obviously gone all the way down here. Might be this guy. No, that's Cherry Coke. Where is... I just want to make sure this guy's safe, because this guy is really going to need... He's actually like straight into the hospital, I think. No, he's moving around bandages. Someone is moving around bandages. Here we go. Someone's actually making bandages as well. And I assume that everyone's okay. We've got a population. There is actually 5 injured people, but that does not necessarily mean... I think it's been at 5 for a while. And I think that that's because Raiden obviously has an arm missing. Some people have maybe a leg missing, and if they have like damaged eyes and things like that, they're not going to heal straight away. So that's going to take a little bit of time, and they're probably still going to be listed as injured. And we can see, oh, we've actually got this this training grounds up. That happened very quickly. I think at the start of the episode it wasn't actually done. So if we go ahead and put, so we've got the Butchered Shadows, the Moon Coils of Gold, oh god. So I need to see what squad is actually down here that's that actually keeps a checkup on this area down here, the underground area. We just find their guard station. We can see right here, the Spine Grinders. So I may have done a bit of a boo-boo. I think that training grounds would have done better underground, like for those guys to be there. However, I may have another squad that isn't. So we've got the Butcher Shadows, the Moon Coilers, those 2 are on a training grounds already. Now the Ripe Slugs is the shooting guys. I guess I should get those guys training and just have them run up the stairs quickly anytime they need to do some attacking, because half the time they just end up running down anyway to get a better vantage point. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this training grounds and get the Ripe Slugs in there, because otherwise I've only got workers and the cave guards to actually be there. I'm not going to record the combat log. This is going to be, I guess, whoop, oh god, I went out of the window again. Training Grounds 3, that's all I really wanted to call it. Not sure why I deleted the whole thing. We're going to keep the progress going. So we can see in the Great Hall, there's actually been, those blocks have been cleaned up because I haven't got blocks on infinitely repeating, so they're being kept sort of stable at a certain number. So they got used up. We can see the leather arm is still being pumped out, and if we actually check up back on Genwangla, we will be able to see that her skill should have risen to 31. That's about 10 levels or numbers, whatever you want to call it in gnome language, in that profession. And we can see all of these trees aren't actually being chopped down. So there must be someone that isn't actually... I want to check if there's another rancher. So let's go ahead, check up on that. There is... Okay, so there's only one rancher, which I know is Jen Wangla, because she has been a really faithful rancher since the beginning. Now I think what I want to do is... She's good... Oh, how good is she at ranching? Because if she is good enough, I want to keep her on that. I think it's animal husbandry, and yeah, animal husbandry does ranching, and obviously she's doing the leatherworking. However, I think because we have so much leather arm at the moment, I'm going to set Jen Wangla to not be a leatherworker anymore and have someone else do that. So I think it's in miscellaneous... Well, no, miscellaneous crafting. She's going to be able to do pot... Oh, we really... Oh, I don't know if we need a rancher 24/7, so I'm going to leave her as a potter. And maybe she will turn into Harry Potter, do some magical spells, but that's just completely for another time. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. She's going to come over here, get a bit of a snack, and then do some extra ranching. We can see the butcher's shop is actually still going full blast. If we check up on these crates, we can see that we do still have quite a lot of them that aren't full yet. Some of them are at around 20, a lot of them are empty as well, so we don't need to worry terribly much about that. And I want to get these traps in order before the end of this episode. So just in case I have done something a little bit wrong here with the grove, so we can see there's plant saplings, cut the clippings, and pick the fruit. So we are cutting the clippings and felling the trees. We aren't obviously felling apple trees because we don't need to do that. I just wanted to make sure that felling trees was actually checked on all of these because they weren't getting cut, but I assume the carpenters aren't actually working flat out. But again, I'm a little bit more used to having around 35 people, and at the moment I've only got 30, but again, that is because most of the people are in the military as opposed to last time. Now, what is this crazy man doing? Oh, this crazy guy. These guys are actually fighting ranged, and this guy is just like using the stairs, maybe to his advantage. I guess that's probably what he's doing, but otherwise, that is sort of just a weird thing to be hopping up and down the stairs like a madman. Now, we're going to go ahead and set the area for the traps. We're going to go ahead and simply mine out like a long corridor all along here to about here. Oh, there's the autosave going. That is going to save our life one day, or it might hamper us in one way. I don't know. So we can see it actually tells you that it is saving, and we can just make sure we get that done. And we're also going to go ahead and go to agriculture, cut all of these trees or fell them all. Because we do need some extra wood at the moment, because some of the stuff isn't being cut down. Actually, I just want to check up on the stocks, make sure we have enough tools. So we've got 8 felling axes. I'm going to go ahead and just set one more to be made. Oh, it's not actually in the forge, it's actually in the armorer. Actually, no, it's not in the armor. It should be in the weaponsmith. I was completely wrong on all of those. It's not in the weaponsmith. We need an actual felling axe, I assume, to be for the workers. So we'll create 2 of those in case they don't have any of them, and make sure that that is being looked after. So we'll have all those trees being felled, and also have the remove ramps once that gets done. And we're going to have a corridor along here full of traps and things like that. So we will get that placed next episode, but as long as I've got an idea in my head, I do feel a lot better about that. Here we can see that the cutting is commencing, and I can only assume that none of the trees in the farm are getting cut down. Just quickly check up on the stocks and see if we do have... I actually want to check on just the wood. So we do have logs and planks, so I'm not too much in a hurry to do all that stuff. But again, that is going to be the end of this episode, episode 48. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I surely have. There'll be more in the next episode. As always, this adventure continues for a very long time, it seems, and that is a really awesome thing because, again, I'm not a master at this game. I do make quite a lot of mistakes, but we are getting through this. Thank you guys for all of the help, and I'll see you in the next episode.